Well, friends, welcome back to the show. I know you love a good story that whisks us away to another world, but I love it even more when a story holds up a mirror to our own lives. So today we are chatting with Victoria McCombs about her captivating book, Mortal Queens, which also won an award, which we'll talk about that. It's the Fae Dynasty Book 1. And on the surface, this is a fantasy about Fae courts, which we'll explain what that is, eternal night, a girl named Althena or Thea who was whisked away to a beautiful but dangerous world. But as I was reading, I couldn't help but see the deeper threads woven through the pages. And it's a story about wearing masks, maybe to protect ourselves. It's about glass hearts. There's so many things, but welcome, Victoria. I'm so glad that you're here.
Yeah, thank you. It's so good to be back.
Okay, so I started this book this morning.
Okay.
I'm halfway through because
Oh, yay.
literally I'm like, this is so good.
Thank you.
I love it so much, and okay, I'm just gonna say this. This is the best book I've read in a while
Oh,
because
thank you so
honestly,
much.
I'm like driving in the car listening to it. I am doing chores listening to it. I'm listening about the audiobook. It's so good. But for those who may not be familiar, what is a fae? And tell us about kind of this world that you created.
Yes. And so the whole premise of the book is that every year mortal girls go missing into the Fae realm. And Fae were like all the rage. And I feel like Fae still are kind of all the rage in the whole book world. But kind of the fun part about Fae is you get to do whatever you want with it. And so sometimes like the Fae can't lie, or sometimes they have like tails or horns. But usually Fae are very, very similar to people, just like a lot more powerful, usually more good looking, and they live for like a super long time. But you can kind of do a lot with them. My Fae have glass hearts. That was kind of my unique twist on them. But yeah, there's so much you can do, but they're so close to being people, they're just not.
Yeah. And so what I love is we start with Thea and we're in kind of her ordinary world, which is not very ordinary, but compared to the Fae world, it's kind of an
Yeah.
ordinary world. And they have this every year. The Fae come and pick a mortal queen that get to go live in their world. And there's one queen that's there that she sees, but it's like over and over, like, where are all the other ones? I'm like, girl,
Hmm.
and I don't think we're giving too much away because I think it goes in the description. Like, they're gonna be
Yes. Yep.
dead. Like
Yeah, they
they're
are not
and
there.
you're like, no, don't be so excited about doing this.
Yeah.
But what I love about that is the reader's gonna be like, I have a bad feeling about this, but it
Hmm.
takes a while. But I love her character. She seems pretty innocent until like you see, oh, she's really crafty, or she's kind of paid attention to what her dad taught her. Like there's so many layers to her as she goes along. So talk a little bit about Thea and kind of like how even this character and this world and the situation came to be in your mind.
Yeah, Thea was definitely tricky to write, and it's always tricky to write a story where the readers know something before the character does because it can make the character seem super naive. And so the
Mhm.
readers go into this book knowing obviously those queens are missing, but it was tricky to work with a character that I want the readers to root for when she's so naive about something that she doesn't know that we do. And so I didn't want it to take too long for her to figure out that something's up. But
Right.
throughout that, it was super important to me that she wasn't ever like super blindsided by a whole bunch of things and that she was still making her own choices and that her
Mhm.
actions really progress the story. And so even as she's missing information, she's still making a lot of choices and doing a lot of things that progress the story. And I think that helped give her a lot of strength. She's definitely very yeah, she was a lot of fun and I liked the side characters that I got to pair with her. I loved her own love for her complicated family back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun to work with. What was the second half of your question?
Just like how even the idea
Oh,
of
yeah.
this mortal queen going to this fey
Mhm.
world, like where did you even come up with that idea?
Yeah, so I had written Oathbound, the first in my pirate trilogy,
Yes.
and then this is actually the next book that I wrote right after that. I
Okay.
wrote this book, it was like 2020 that I actually started writing this. It was a long time ago. It started with that basic idea of I wanna do a fae story, and I want queens to be stolen from the mortal realm, and so that started it, and then beyond that, I kinda had fun with, like, what are all the unique ways I can make this story different? And so I added that they have earrings to show their rank. It's like the highest
Mhm.
rank is 7 earrings. And I added that it's going to be eternally night. I added the masks that they have to wear and how the colors that they choose determine something. I added the glass hearts, which is probably my favorite part that I added. And I just kind of had like a whole fun day of like throwing a bunch of random stuff. And then through that, I came up with like the plot of what's actually going to be happening. And then I became obsessed with it and I wrote it in like 2.5 months and then it was
Wow.
done. Yeah. So I everything about this story just like flowed out of me and I've written like 7 books since. I've never had one flow as well as that one did.
Yeah. Well, I'm just captivated. Like again, I started listening. I'm like, I'm gonna interview her today. Had already bought the audiobook last year when you won at Realm Makers. Which why don't you
Mhm.
explain that real quick? Your
Yes,
award.
I won the Fantasy of the Year for 20 books published in 2024 and I just won that this past June.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, well, I think I was in the audience and I'm like, ooh, that sounds good. Let me. So I bought it,
Oh
but
yay.
I probably have 1,000 audiobooks, right?
Yeah.
It's like I just love them. So then I'm like, let me listen this morning, and then I'm just like, oh, like I
Yeah.
am not putting this down. This is so
Yeah.
good. So I could see, like, you can tell. I don't know. There's nothing clunky about it. And some books you're like, well, that was okay. Or I mean,
Mhm.
there's all great elements to it, but this one I could just tell like it flowed. There's so
Mhm.
much interest. And she's definitely for being in a situation where she's not in control,
Yeah.
she's controlling the story, which is super fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
I love
you.
it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a lot of fun to write.
yeah.
So
So were you at the Realm Makers?
I wasn't. I wanted to be, but I ended up staying home with my family. But it was super sweet because my parents had stopped by randomly as I'm like at the table watching for the award. And so my parents were there. My husband was right next to me. My 4 kids were around me. And then when they said my name, like they all just cheered. And so that was really, really special. I wish I could have been there, but it was also really special to have my kids with me in that moment. So yeah, it was fun.
That that is really cool. Yeah, and for those who aren't familiar, Realm Makers is a speculative fiction. That they have a conference, they have an online community, and I didn't even read speculative fiction until I went. Oh, probably 5, 6 years ago with my son. I'm like,
Hmm.
"I'm just gonna go with him. He wants to write speculative fiction." So, I'm like then I started reading, I'm like, "These books are really good." Yeah, I read your pirate one. I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
interviewed that. So it's so fun to see these different worlds and, but it also has the same human elements. So I think that's one thing that I love about speculative fiction. You still have interior motives and alternative motives, and you have
Hmm.
external struggles. You have character arcs. You have all these things, but then you have fae and you have
Yeah.
meth. You have
Yep.
eternal nights, and you
Yeah.
have you know different worlds. And so I think that's just it makes it super fun.
Yeah.
So this is a book one. Uh,
Yes.
tell us about the series and how long it's going to continue and what's happening with that.
Yes, it is book 1 out of 2, and both books released in 2025, and it's complete with 2, so nothing else is coming, just those 2. Yeah.
Okay, so you're not going to go back to this world, go
No,
back
I
to
don't
the
think
characters.
so. The way it ends would make it possible, but tricky to go back to,
Yeah.
but I could. But
Oh,
yeah,
now you're like, oh, now I'm gonna go read
I
two
know.
back to back. I'm gonna have to go find that. Yeah, and I think that's fun though because I know as soon as if I know there's a book two, that'll probably be the next one I listen to after this.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the audiobooks, the narrator did a fantastic
Yes, Ellen
job too.
Quay. She did such a good job. It's funny, I actually landed her for my very first book when I was with a tiny, tiny press, and she was a tiny little narrator, and we got hooked up for that book. And then she left to like go on do bigger and better things, and I left to go on to bigger and better things at Enclave. And lo and behold, we got paired up again for all the next. So she did like my next 5 books as well. So I lucked
Oh
out with her
wow.
because she does such a great job.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so for those, maybe this is the first time that people have heard about you. Tell us about the books that you have published, and
Mhm.
then I also want to hear like there's more coming, I
Oh,
assume.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm a young adult fantasy author. I have, I want to say 13 books published right now. My first 4 are fairy tales. They're probably more for the middle grade audience. And then I moved over, landed at Enclave, and so I have a pirate trilogy and then that Fae duology. And then after that, I realized I am writing way too fast. Poor Enclave cannot keep up with this. And I was building up like a stockpile of published books as I was waiting for those trad books. And so now I'm indie and I've had 4 books, a Viking story, an ancient Rome, and then a Labyrinth duology come out all last year, actually, because I had built them all up waiting. Yeah, and so that's I just young adult fantasy. It's kind of where I'm at. That's what all my
Yeah.
books are, and I love it. Yeah, and then more to come.
Okay. That's super exciting. So have you always wanted like to be a writer and then like this is what you wanted to write?
Yeah, I've always people ask me like, "Would you ever do another genre?" Like, I don't even read other genres. Like, I am just a fantasy girl. I've always, even from the time I was super little, I've always been drawn to fantasy. That's all that I do. I did write when I was younger as well, but it wasn't until I became a stay-at-home mom that I began thinking like, "I wonder if I could actually do this." And my dad had asked us all, he's like, "Where do you want to be in 5 years?" And I just thought, "You know what? I bet in 5 years I could publish a book." And then I think it was like 3 years later that my first book got picked up.
Oh,
Um,
so cool.
yeah, and then just kinda just spiraled from there. So, like, 8 years now, I've really been going hard after this dream. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was always there in the back of my mind, but it wasn't until, like, even after college that I'm like, "I can actually do this if I want to try."
Yeah. Did you go to college for writing or
I didn't. I went to a Christian college for a Christian degree and for elementary education degree.
okay.
I
Well,
yeah.
you're kind of using I mean, it's YA fantasy, young adult fantasy.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yep,
so cool.
still
And
with the kids. Yeah.
how old are your kids now?
My kids are 9, 7, 5, and 1.5.
Okay. So has your
Yes.
9-year-old read or have you read any of your stories to
He
him?
hasn't read mine, but he is interested in them. But I keep telling him, like, maybe when you're just a little smidgen older. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's interested.
You're like, "Mom, how did you come up with this type
Yeah.
of stuff?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he really likes to write too. So he like creates his own books and like binds them together and like writes stories and draws his pictures. And so I can see him following me as well.
Okay, Victoria, I have to tell you, so I have 3 biological, then we adopted 7.
Hmm.
All my older 3 well, 2 of them my 2 sons write. My daughter's a university professor teaching English,
Okay.
but my 3rd oldest, he did in fact, I'm unpacking, we just moved into a new house, and I found, like, his little books that he drew the pictures, wrote the books,
Oh,
he would, like, go from door to door, he's, like, 7 or 8, and, like, knock at the neighbor's door and ask if they wanted to listen to his story, like, he
oh,
did
that's
that
so sweet.
yeah, and then my 3 Enclave books are well, 2 are out, 1 comes out in June, are with
Hmm.
him. So,
Okay. Yes.
yeah, he's the one that wanted to like, interested in this conference. I'm like, "I'll go with you," and then all of a sudden, I'm like, "I love this world. I
Yeah.
love everything about it," and then Steve Lobby, I've known him actually since I was pregnant with Nathan, who's
Okay.
32. I've known him a long time, so, it's super fun. So, I mean, the fact that your son is already doing that,
Yeah.
yeah. So you might have some books in the future with him.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. Like we'd be plotting and he'd come up with like the plot twist or this
Yeah.
story. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I wouldn't have come up with that. It's like a proud mom moment and yeah,
Mhm.
it's
How do you
pretty
guys
fun.
do that? Do you, like, have 2 different characters and you each have a POV, or how are you guys writing together?
Yeah, we so kind of. So we actually like figured out the story arc together. So like Breath of Bones is about the Golem of Prague during World War II. What if they brought him back to life? And so I mostly did Katerina, who is a female reporter, and he mostly did Yosef, who is a scientist. But
Okay.
he would also like he would add stuff to mine. So we had a shared Google Doc. He'd add stuff to mine. I'd add stuff to his, and he would come up with like all the fight scenes.
Mhm.
And then there'd be parts where I needed to add the history. He'd leave a note like "insert history here,"
Oh,
so
nice.
I'd like go in like the actual historical events of what happened during this day or something.
Mhm.
So
Nice. That's really cool.
yeah, that's really fun. All right, so a lot of people will ask me this, so I know they're probably wondering this. Balancing being a mom, writing books, there's book
Yeah.
releases, there's interviews, there's all these things going on. How do you handle that?
I am very rigorous about my schedule, and so I homeschool my kids. So that's
Hmm.
my whole morning. Like
Yeah.
nothing else happens. We wake up, we do our school by 12:30, we're about done. But my kids also play really well together,
Yeah.
and it helps. It's boy, 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 and then girl, and they all just play super well. And so in the afternoon, they're done with their school. They go play, they go downstairs, they play a board game. And then I have like not 2 solid hours of, like, sitting and not moving, but, like, 2 broken up hours as I go
Yeah.
and deal with other stuff, and that's really all that I have to write,
Yeah.
but I think it helps that I've been doing this for so long, like, I can make do with those 2 hours, and then I just post on social media whenever I have the time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's how I do it, between, like, 1 and 3 o'clock. That's when I write, that's when I do this podcast, and then that's really all the time that I have, but it works for me, so.
Yeah, literally, that's my life. Like you're, you're doing
Mhm.
exactly. I homeschooled in the
Oh,
morning.
nice.
Like we're not even gonna do anything before 12:30,
Yeah.
and then I would say like 1 to 3, and even when they were little, I had a big office, and so I'd set off, and this is aging me. Barney the dinosaur on VHS in
Okay.
one corner, Play-Doh. Like I do little stations, and then I would just
Uh-huh.
write. And I think it. So now I write probably 3 or 4 books a year. I think it helped me because
Mhm.
when you have those 2 hours, you have to like get
Yeah.
words on paper. You
Mhm.
can't like do solitaire. You can't go off some
Right.
research tangent. It's
Mhm.
like, let me get 2,000 words and or
Yes.
whatever it is, and let's just do this thing. And I think now that I mean, my youngest is 15, so
Yeah.
he'd be totally fine in his room all day if I let him playing video games. I don't, but
Yeah.
but yeah, and I think it does because you're used to writing for shorter periods. It just really works.
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool. Okay, so um, the books that just came out, are any of those one? Do you have like are those series that you can continue on, or what's coming next?
Um, I have standalone, and duology that just came out, but my duology had a side character that at the very end of the duology, I basically like threw a side character off a cliff and made it clear like they're gonna get a story. And so I do need to write that story. I just have not yet. But that's actually coming later this year. So I that is the next one I am sitting down to write. But I have another trilogy, I believe, coming, duology or trilogy, and I just finished book 1, and so that is gonna
Okay.
release in March. And so that one is all set, it's ready to go. It's about twin stars, which is really fun to work with stars as people.
Oh,
And yeah, and so the twin stars are meant to rule together, but on their night of ascension, one sister severs the bond and steals the sky for herself. And that's kind of the basic premise of it. And yeah, it comes in March, so I'm very excited for that one.
yeah, and I love that you write for young adults. I love hello there, little child. Yeah. I love that you write for young adults. What kind of feedback do you get from people reading your books?
I get a lot of feedback that my worlds are really whimsical, and I
Mhm.
always appreciate that. They like my world building, and that's something I worked really, really hard on, is to make my worlds unique and fun. That's probably the biggest one I get, is that it's whimsical. People like the romance, which always makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Um, and that they appreciate that there's no spice. And so
Mhm.
I like that. I definitely want to always stay in this young adult, because I have even parents, I have so many parents that message me and they're like, I really appreciate that you have just clean books that I can give my kids and I don't have to pre approve the content. And so I always want, I don't want to ever trick them and be like, I'm now going to write this like way aged up. And so I love being in this group. I love writing for teenagers. So planning on sticking there.
Yeah, and I think when you know your audience, I mean, especially like we're in the homeschool world, and you kind of know like parents are cool with this stuff.
Hmm.
Parents really don't appreciate this stuff. And when
Yeah.
you give readers books that the young adults or even adults, like I'm totally enjoying this book. I'm not a young adult. I think it's
Yeah.
fantastic. When you get them stuff that's gonna be interesting and fun and like, ooh, what's gonna happen? Like I gotta find out what's gonna happen and what's gonna
Hmm.
happen. I'm at the point right now where someone just bowed before her. You probably know.
Oh, I love that scene.
So I'm like, I gotta get off and interview her now. But
Hmm.
it's you when you give them books that they love, they make the most dedicated fans, right? They
Mhm,
just want
yeah.
to like, okay, what do you have next? What do you have next? And
Mhm.
it's so funny, especially young adults too. Like, I'll get the messages like, I read your book in 3 hours or 4 hours. I'm like, it took me much longer than
Yeah.
that to write it. But it's good to know that people just get totally swept away with it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so this book is called Mortal Queens. And again, we talked about that it's a duology, right? This one
Yes.
is part of a duology. What is the title of book two?
Lethal Kings.
Oh,
Yeah. Steve Lobby helped me create that one. I can't remember
okay.
what it originally was, but he helped with that one.
Okay, because I'm all right. Now my mind is racing because I've met most of the well, not most.
Yes.
I've met some of the kings.
Hmm.
That's gonna be interesting. Yeah, very cool. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Okay, so then another thing I love to ask, and I don't know how much time you have to read, but what are some of the books that you've enjoyed, or maybe even some all-time favorites, um,
Hmm.
that people that say, okay, I love this kind of book. What recommendations do you have?
Yes, I'm sure you know Rochelle Nelson, but she has two fantastic ones, and so she tends to be top of the list for me. Or Kara Swanson, I really, really
Yes.
enjoyed Ignite, and I'm super excited for the sequel. Ellen McGinty, she just released her second book. I got it off Kickstarter, and it's The Last Wayfinder. She is a phenomenal writer, and so I always recommend her as well. Yeah, I think those are the three that I'm like, if you like my books, you'll probably like these authors as well.
Yeah, and Kara is the sweetest
She
ever.
really is, yeah.
Yeah, and she's so fun. Yeah, and her Peter Pan was
Yeah, Dust.
Des.
Yes.
Yeah, those are really good books too. So
Mhm. Yep, I have both of those, yeah.
yeah, it's so fun to see those characters in a different like, oh, you're not as nice as I
Yeah.
thought you were, or wow, that's
Mhm.
super fun. And I love that we can enjoy other people's books, and it's always fun to see like what they come up with and how
Yeah.
they put those twists on types of things.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, well, very cool. Well, I am just so excited. So the book again is Mortal Queens, and then the next one is Fatal
Le Lethal Kings,
Lethal King.
yes.
I'm, I'm as soon as I'm gonna finish this, I'll probably finish this book today or tomorrow. I'll have to definitely go and get that one. But Victoria, I just appreciate you being here and just
Mhm.
yeah, and congratulations on winning
Thank you.
that Realm Award, and I cannot wait to see what else you're gonna come up with.
Thank you so much. It was a delight to be here, and it was good to talk to you again. Are you gonna be at World Makers this year?
I think so. Yes,
Okay,
that's the
very
plan.
nice.
Are you gonna be there?
I think so as well. I haven't actually got my ticket yet, but
Yeah, me
I think
neither.
so.
I'm like, we'll figure it out. We'll figure
Yes.
it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully I see you there then.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.